Do 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 do. Who is it?
MP,
Oh, what is it, Flutters?
MP, I need your help. I don't know how and when to set up stats for my Pokemon.
That's it? That's why you're here?
Yes, can you help me?
Alright, fine. Did you see anything?
No, MP, I didn't see a drawing Kaylani again. No, MP, I
So, when and where can I use a stat increasing move is probably the most important question this video will answer. Well, the first one we're going to be looking at least in terms of stat increasing moves, is probably Swords Dance. Probably the most basic one you will ever see in your competitive battles or in any battles anywhere. So, Swords Dance, for those of you who don't know, Swords Dance increases the user's attack stage by 2 stages every time it's used. Now, all in all, that's a very effective move. Problem is, it takes 1 turn to actually set up, and during that 1 turn, you are pretty vulnerable to an attack. So the real question is, when can I use it? Why can't I use it? What's it gonna take for me to use this? Well, the answer to that is basically you need to have a Pokemon that can basically either A, take the hit, B, have an item that can protect you so you can use it, or C, have some way to be able to protect yourself while using this move. So the first Pokemon we're going to be looking at that uses stat increasing moves very effectively is Aegislash. Thanks to its ability Stance Change, it can swap between 2 modes, Shield and Sword mode. So while it's in Shield form, it has 2 very strong defense stats. It has a very strong defense stat of 150 and a special defense stat of 150. This means it can pretty much take whatever hit comes its way. It's going to survive that turn while it sets up, regardless of what it's going to do. So, when it swaps between the shield form to its blade form, it swaps its defensive stats with its offensive stats. So its attack stat gains 150 and its special attack stat gains 150. But in the off trade, its defensive stats take a huge tank, going from 150 to 50. So this is when Aegislash can actually make use of the Swords Dance setup. Because it can take a hit very well while it's in shield form, when it goes from its defensive stat to its offensive stat, it has the chance to make use of those huge stat changes because of the fact that it just tanked a really strong hit and can, get out of the fight with minimal damage to itself, provided it's not a super effective hit such as Fire, Ground, Ghost, or Dark type. So the next move we're going to be looking at in terms of stat increasing is moves such as Calm Mind. So for those of you who don't know, Calm Mind will increase the special attack stat and special defense stat by 1 stage each. Now, all in all, that's a very effective range for stat increasing moves, but it's mostly going to be used on special attackers and those that have strong special defenses, Pokemon such as Gardevoir. Now, if you're going to be using a Pokemon like Gardevoir and you're going to be using the Calm Mind setup, you're going to be using the Calm Mind basically for Pokemon that are going to be sitting in against special attackers, meaning they will be able to take the special attack hit and be able to set up safely without having to, risk being taken down super easily. Also, because their special defenses are really strong as well as their special attack, the opponent may switch out into a physical attacking Pokemon to deal with your Pokemon. This is also when you can make use of the stat increasing moves such as Calm Mind. You will get the turn to set up freely while they spend 1 turn just simply switching out their Pokemon to try and counter you. And if they don't have a fast enough physical attacking hitter, you can make use of that setup to put your Pokemon out there and deal massive damage on the next turn. That's because you had that free turn of setup. A single setup is all you pretty much need for one of these Pokemon. So Pokemon like Gardevoir will make use of that Calm Mind setup because of their super strong special attack and defensive stats, such as Gardevoir in particular, as I just mentioned. That is one way you can use another setup stat. So the next one we're going to be looking at is Shell Smash. I'm sorry very much if I'm stuttering, but Shell Smash is a move that is probably one of the most dangerous, high risk, high reward stat increasing moves for a Pokemon. So what Shell Smash does is it decreases the defensive stats by 1 stage each, while also raising the attack and speed stats by 2 stages each. So in exchange for sacrificing 1 defense and 1 special defense stat, you increase your attack, special attack, and speed stats by 2 stages. The off trade of this is that you're supposed to be sacrificing a bit of defenses and you gain massive offensive pressure and power. That alone can devastate most Pokemon, simply because while they take the 1 turn to set up, their opponent has the chance to take advantage of their momentary weakness if they're slower to hit you with an effective hit that deals even more damage because you weakened yourself. Unless, of course, you're a Pokemon that can take the hit naturally, such as Cloyster. Cloyster is one of the most prime examples of a Pokemon that will use a Shell Smash. It has a massive defensive stat of 180. So, if the Pokemon is a physical attacker, Shell Smash won't affect Cloyster very much. It's not, as long as it takes a physical hit, it's not gonna deal a lot of damage to Cloyster. Another way you can use Cloyster though, or at least the Shell Smash, is if you're gonna be using the move, or not the move, the item Focus Sash. So if you're gonna be using the item Focus Sash, you will be able to take their strongest hit regardless. You can set up your stats freely, and provided they don't have any priority moves and you're even left at 1 HP, that's all you need to take full advantage of the Shell Smash. The stats you gain compared to what you lose will be more than enough to make up for that momentary loss of weakness and that huge hit you took, because you will still be able to survive regardless of whether or not the opponent hits you back harder or not. So those are the 3 instances in which you can safely set up your stat increases. If you know you can tank the hit regardless of what type of Pokemon or they're going to be using, what type of move they're going to be using, that's when it's okay to set up. If you know very well that you have a Pokemon that can tank the hit of the opponent, or at least force them to switch out, which will force them to switch out, then it's safe to use that move. And if you have an item which will ensure 100% without a doubt that you will be able to survive the stat changes, then that is also when you can use the stat increasing moves. So I hope you guys took some information from this. I hope you all learned how to possibly set up your stats, and I hope you all guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, I am Imperator Davius, your fedora wearing Reshiram. I will see you all next time. Bye bye.